Mary Kay Cabot of Cleveland.com just put out a story saying Browns quarterback Shedeur Sanders is expected to start Friday night's preseason opener against the Panthers. Sources say, are you satiated?
Yes, this is exactly what I was asking for. Yes, thank you, Mary Kay. Like this is there is
it's not she did
faith,
this for you.
It's not faith completely restored, but it's the idea that the Browns understand that every rep that Tyler Huntley makes is a wasted rep on Friday night. And if Shedeur Sanders plays 3 quarters, if he plays into the 4th quarter, you're getting him experience, you're getting him opportunities, and that should be the point of the preseason game. Like, this is it. That's a great development.
Or maybe this is more development that the Cleveland Browns, who have told everyone that Shedeur isn't ready to have the basic nuances of the quarterback position, maybe they've been fibbing. Right? I mean,
if you want to take it that way, I'm not going to sit here and say you're wrong.
You've gone from the kid cannot get first-team reps to now he's going to start a preseason game. What's the old Boers and Bernstein bit? Who you crapping?
Yeah. Who you crapping? Right. 5 o'clock on Thursdays.
All right. Which one am I to believe here? The guy that apparently can't, has mush mouth when it comes to, X right wing nut banana 259er like that? But can't get that out.
You almost went Spider Y2 banana with this little Gruden action.
I was just trying to think of as many words to string together because that's how basic mostly every NFL play call sounds. I just think it's funny. Like this is the Browns having their cake and eat it too. But he's not ready. He's got all the reps on Friday.
I would have been convinced they didn't know what they were doing with Shedeur if they didn't go this route. And so I'm happy they're at least showing Shedeur enough respect to be able to be given an opportunity. And then they have the right read on it. Again, he's not taking anything away from Dylan Gabriel. He's not playing. Kenny Pickett's not playing. Like, this is the right thing. Tyler Huntley will not be on this roster 3 weeks from now. Every rep he takes does not matter. Shedeur Sanders is the only quarterback that is healthy and that matters for this preseason game. Give him an opportunity, let him look good, or if he's absolutely sinks, that's okay too. But you have to give him a chance, and so I like that they're at least doing that.
So we have a little update within Mary Kay's story. One, she says the Browns have signed Tyler Huntley, but he'll most likely come in off the bench to relieve Sanders. So, by the way, it said, but he'll likely. So, again, a little wiggle room here. And it said Sanders will likely to get first snaps with the Browns starting offense in a joint practice on Wednesday against the Panthers. To this point, he's only gone against the Browns' first-team defense for a total of 4 snaps on day 7 last week. So this is where my part of this is satiated. If you were going to start him on Friday, you needed to give him first-team reps on Wednesday.
I like that.
The fact that they're doing that, I mean, you'd be forced into doing it.
It is the week.
So this is
like this is it. This is where we're gonna.
Is this what you've been hoping for?
It's all Shedeur Sanders could have asked for and then some. But to the people that like RG3 last night suggesting that the Browns are just ruining Shedeur and they're killing every opportunity he has and this and that. Like, no, this is the opportunity. And by the way, tip of the cap to Shedeur Sanders on this one. He has done a great job of not only being a good teammate, but he's impressed day in, day out. He's earned this opportunity, Nick. Congratulations to Shedeur Sanders.
I rolled my eyes.
You worked your butt off. You got to where you needed to get to. Now you have to continue. Now you have to continue on. There's no free handouts around here. Your back's against the wall to begin with anyway, but you got to force them to continue to give you opportunities. He's done the first part. Now have a great Wednesday, have a great Friday, and let's keep this thing going.
All right.
Let's keep this thing going.
Do you have pom-poms?
Let's keep this thing going.
Do you have the skirt that comes with the cheerleading outfit?
Listen, I'm excited the Browns didn't let me down, okay? I'm excited the Browns did. I really thought the Browns were going to let me down. And they were going to prioritize Tyler Huntley snaps over giving Shedeur Sanders a real opportunity. That would have been disastrous.
There's still time for that, right?
That would have been disastrous.
If Shedeur plays one series or one quarter.
If he plays one series, I am going to. You won't want to hear me on Monday.
Snap.
I'm gonna snap. I'll lose my mind. Or if they do the thing on Wednesday where he does the joint practice, and then they're like, "Ooh, well, guess we got to change our plans on Friday." I'm going to lose it. But it's good. This is a good step for the Browns. This tells me that they're at least giving him a fair shake. They're giving him a chance because the people that were suggesting last night that Tyler Huntley was going to start this game and Tyler Huntley was going to have more opportunities than Shedeur.
I mean,
that's not fair to anybody.
I believe Mary Kay said she would start Snoop Huntley on Friday.
Well, you're going to make me go up against a Hall of Famer now?
Yeah, I think so. I
How
was just
rude
going
of
to
you
say,
was that conversation?
up until 4 hours ago, that was where I think we were with the Browns until this Mary Kay Cabot report.
It's not likely that I enjoy being on the same side as the Browns because the Browns historically just get these things wrong. But I'm happy that at least in this instance, the Browns and myself saw eye to eye in that Tyler Huntley can't possibly be taking reps because every Tyler Huntley rep is just a waste, in my opinion.
216-474-0092. Shedeur Sanders expected to start Friday night's preseason opener on the road versus the Panthers. Mary Kay Cabot is reporting at Cleveland.com. Tyler Huntley will be the backup. We don't necessarily know how much Shedeur is going to play versus Tyler Huntley, and I think Mary Kay does kind of leave it open to the importance of tomorrow's reps for Shedeur to kind of build forward. This does now lead to the question, do you think it's a Kevin Stefanski decision that Shedeur's starting this Friday?
It's a good question because I think we've both kind of been living with the idea that it's not like it doesn't feel like Stefanski's bending over backwards to try to give Shedeur a bunch of opportunities, but maybe the light went on for him. You know, Shedeur's been consistent all throughout this training camp. And again, I don't want to get too crazy about it only because this is because Dylan Gabriel and Kenny Pickett are injured. Like, we still have to remind ourselves of that in the back of our brain, but this is an opportunity. That's all we could have asked for.
I mean, I think that, okay, if I'm following the logic that it's Kevin Stefanski's decision, and I'll give him that, sure, there's a risk, there's a downside here that we do have to get to that I don't know that, or maybe they've dismissed. But I mean, listen, if Dylan Gabriel got a bigger chance to make a big swing at the week 1 starting job because Kenny Pickett got injured, if a fair amount of those reps went to Dylan as opposed to just backloading them more on Joe Flacco, I guess it would make sense that that same flow of logic, well, Kenny's not going to be in the game on Friday. Dylan's not going to be in the game. Give the kid the start.
Yeah, I mean,
so that is at least consistent with what they've done with the other quarterbacks.
Well, so this is why I was so adamant about everything at 2 o'clock, because in my opinion, they didn't really have much of a choice or much of an out. It's like if you wanted to go with Tyler Huntley, that's fine, but you had to understand what exactly you were doing with Tyler Huntley. You're giving him opportunities and reps to a guy that's not going to be here 3 weeks from now, instead of somebody that you are trying to sell us at least the idea that you're trying to grow and you're trying to see get better. Like, this is the chance to give him opportunities and reps, and that's what it's all about. And they're at least taking advantage of it.
This is just where we pump the brakes a little bit for the Shahive here. Remember, just because he's starting doesn't mean he's going to get the amount of reps you want, and just because the plan is to start him doesn't mean if he looks disastrous, in their opinion, got to continue to go from their opinion tomorrow with the ones that all of a sudden he might not have the plan altered there for Shedeur specifically on Friday.
Yeah, I mean, again, everything's still up in the air, I guess, in theory. I think that Shedeur is going to just face plant in these opportunities? I don't. I tend to think he's going to look pretty good, but
I mean, just real quick to that, this is a significant jump. Like, there's a part of me that wonders if you're actually putting Shedeur in a position to succeed, where the guy is throwing to ball boys and imaginary teammates a week ago, and now he's going against ones because Carolina is starting.
Last Friday he went up against ones.
How many? It wasn't it 5 snaps
or 5? He still went up against ones, though.
It's a huge jump week over week. I'm not saying, by the way, I'm just saying, like, that should maybe tamp down our expectations a little bit.
But that's the whole point. It's a preseason game. And again, we can talk about Wednesday a little bit differently if you want, but like for Friday, it's a preseason game against the Panthers. Like, it's not this is when you get to see
people react to.
No, but this is when you get to see what he can do. If he can rise to the occasion, then great. And if he doesn't, if he just absolutely just flounders in it, all right, then you learn that lesson as well. Who was it? I think it was Mary Kay said this season was all about a fact-finding mission. Well, if you're going on a fact-finding mission, these are the type of things you have to find out. These are the facts that you can gather, and in throwing them with the ones, you get a pretty golden opportunity to see how he handles this. And again, if he fails it, then all right, at least you learn that he fails it.
Yeah, well, but
then you're back to the drawing board a little bit.
The only thing I would say with that is too many people have talked about the now being the totality of this thing. Like, a fact-finding mission has many checkpoints. So this actually isn't even specific to Shedeur anymore. It's this idea of, well, I guess Joe's the starter. It's like every conversation I've heard from Cleveland media at large. Well, no, I'll make Cleveland sports talk that isn't this show has been recency bias. Joe had a good day yesterday. I guess Joe's the starter. Oh, Dylan had a bad day. I guess he's no longer in it. Like it has been wild to watch a town. We had months to prepare for this quarterback kerfuffle. And to watch people live and die with this, fans, that's one thing. But other shows, to watch them live and die with this, as if, like, guys, if Shedeur has a bad day on Friday, it doesn't mean he's cooked. It means he had a bad day. It means the Browns, on some level, were right that he wasn't ready for prime time. If Shedeur has a good day on Friday, I don't know definitively. It means he's jumped, he's passed go, collects his $200, and all of a sudden he's the backup now, right? But I guarantee you that's the stake for a lot of people who are looking at this entire quarterback conundrum, the kerfuffle as it is, as a dumpster fire already.
Yeah, but here's why this Shahive is happy and why they're celebrating today and why this feels a little monumental to myself. Somebody that's been following
Wait, didn't
this.
you just put down the preseason game? You're like, it's just a preseason game.
No, let me finish, though. This is why this is important. It's important because I didn't know whether or not the Browns would be willing to go ahead and be as fluid with this situation as what they're showcasing with giving him the reps on Wednesday and giving him Friday with the preseason game. I didn't know that. They had to show that to me because up until this point, they haven't shown that they're willing to be fluid and willing to give Shedeur the same opportunities as Dillon Gabriel even. So, like, this is, even though it was forced on him a little bit, they could have gone Tyler Huntley. They could have continued to box in Shedeur. This is them showing a willingness to what they see with their eyes. There's development happening here, and here's the reward. You've done a good job. Here's your reward. Show us why we need to keep rewarding you.
So what I would say to that is tomorrow's still got to go smooth, and let's see how much he actually plays on Friday.
Of course, but like, think about it, Nick. Like, all you've asked for in this entire ordeal, fair or unfair, you've asked for a fair competition.
Mm-hmm.
You just wanted this to be an honest, fair competition among the quarterbacks. This is a step towards that. If he hadn't played and they put Tyler Huntley out there, I would make the argument that we're not doing this in a fair competition. So, like, this is them signaling to me and to everybody else, okay, we're going to reward you in a little bit of a way. Here's your cookie. Now go out there, take it, and run with it.
The only thing I would say is you still got to let him stick the landing on everything else. The only thing I would say is, like, I've made that point about this week, but in terms of the fair competition, that extends into next week. That extends into the week afterwards.
Well, so here's how you get a lot of people angry, Nick, is you give him opportunities tomorrow, you give him opportunities on Friday, he passes the bar, he clears the test, whatever you want to say, and then Dillon Gabriel's back to being healthy, Kenny Pickett's back to being healthy, and all of a sudden Shedeur Sanders is just an afterthought again.
I mean, that's what this is setting up to be until proven otherwise, right?
And it's going to get people angry. I tell you, it's going obvious as the day is long. It's going to get people irate if that's how this goes down.
Okay, so
it might be the fear that they had in this whole process.
So this is where I point out that I don't know that the Browns have. I don't know how much the Browns since camp began. I think in the preseason, in the before camp times, I think they were doing a lot to try and tamp down the conversation on Shedeur. One, because they don't like the sideshow stuff. They don't like the big headline grabs, despite drafting him, knowing that I think they try to do a lot of PR work to tamp this down in how they reported, how they talked about Shedeur. So I don't know how much they've done about that since camp began. What I will tell you is, for Shedeur fans, like, as much as I hope if the kid plays well, this opens up more opportunities going forward. Yeah, can Dillon get Wally pipped here if Shedeur looks reasonably good and Dillon didn't play just because he was battling a hamstring injury? I'm talking about from the Browns side of things.
I'd say yeah, only because everyone should have an opportunity to be Wally pipped if you're not on the field, and then all of a sudden somebody pops up and they look and they play better than you. Like, that's, what's the line that everyone always uses? Your best ability is your availability. Sometimes, like, sometimes
never
that's
heard that
true.
one before.
Exactly,
I would have
right.
heard that one before.
Yeah, very, very original. But like, it is true. People talk about it for a reason. Like, your best ability sometimes is your availability. And right now with Shedeur, he's got that going for him, and he's going to be able to go, showcase what he can do.
216-474-0092. Shedeur is reportedly starting on Friday against the Carolina Panthers. And it should be noted that the Panthers are going to be putting their ones out there for at least a short bit, because Dave Canales, the Panthers head coach, has already talked about this. And we do have our buddy Willie P is going to be on tomorrow at 2:40. Well, they practice early in the morning, so we should have some report about
Willie P's a little bit of a flamethrower too.
He is.
That man, he calls it how he sees it and is not shy at all about it. So we're going to get some unadulterated truth out of Willie P.
Also,
and maybe some Mickey Mouse voices.
Ken tweeted at me. I think Ken thought I was subtweeting him with the recency bias thing.
What did he say?
Ken saying he actually said we've been. I think he meant we've been saying. So I don't know why I went grammar Nazi, Ken. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Just about that part, nothing else. We've been saying Flacco was starting week 1 since he was signed. So unless you're talking about Jeff and Andy, you ain't talking about Lima and I about this recency bias thing.
Oh, well, all right. That's fine.
Very guilty response by Ken.
Well,
who knows if I was actually talking about that, but that's a very guilty response. I mean, tweeting me. Good Lord.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Yeah. Pew, 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 pew. I wanted to say a lot there. I'm not going to say a lot.
What do you got to say?
And no, I'm just thinking about guys taking things out of. Well, it was my day, and now we're supposed to start going to start a fight with Ken.
I'm not going to fart a fart with Ken. I'll tell you that.
I'm not doing it. Not going there. Not doing
it's
that.
Too on brand for two big fellas.
Not doing it.
Yeah, not going to do it.
It's the Shedeur. This is supposed to be it. This is supposed to be a happy thing. Browns fans are supposed to be happy right now.
Just start a fight.
The bad part about this is it feels like if you're starting a Shedeur conversation, it's done in just solely the name of Shedeur, and it's not. Like, if you're a Browns fan out there, you should be thrilled at the idea that you're going to be able to watch him play. He's going to have an opportunity to actually showcase what he can do. Like, this can be a good thing for all Browns fans moving forward.
As a man who likes chaos, I feel like
as evidenced by the Ken Carman tweet.
I feel like I didn't tweet that. He tweeted it. I just brought it up.
Jeez.
And you wanted to pew, 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 pew. I didn't.
No, I didn't say a thing.
I just wanted to say to Ken, who knows? I actually do like it spicy. But specific to the Shedeur thing,
maybe our producer could clip something and take it wildly out of context and go and continue the conversation.
I thought you said this wasn't the Shedeur.
It's always the Shedeur.
He says with a smile.
It's always the Shedeur.
All right, so specific to this,
and that is a Mitch be better at your job line is what that is.
As Switzerland, there's really no losing here for me, because if Shedeur plays poorly, it's gonna be a fun week next week. If Shedeur plays really well, I mean, I'm getting chaos whichever way I want it here.
Yes, you are. Are you happy with that?
I'm a little happy with that.
That's why I said, like, Browns fans shouldn't celebrate. If Shedeur Sanders stinks, that's not good for Browns fans. We want him to be awesome. Like, we want him to be good. Like, that's the whole thing that gets, I think, so misconstrued between Browns fans that are also Shedeur Sanders fans is that's what's good for Shedeur is also good for the Browns. Him having these opportunities and being a showcase, and the Browns being flexible enough to be giving him these opportunities, these are all good things. At the end of the day, they're all good things for the Browns.
There's a big part of me that just wants Shedeur to ball out on Friday, just because it will destroy the biggest gripe I've had with the Browns, which is part of their tamping down the excitement in the Shahive, as it were, was to say that Shedeur is not ready. Like, he's not pro ready, and I would enjoy a little bit of the pushback that happens if Shedeur balls out on Friday. Again, chaos. That's all I want.
Well, and so that's where I think the Browns are in an interesting spot. If Shedeur is awesome, it's going to do nothing to temper the fan base, and they won't be able to tell us Shedeur's great on Wednesday and Friday, that Dylan Gabriel's leaps and bounds ahead and everything else that they've been trying to do. They just won't be able to get away with it because we just won't believe it, even if we don't believe it already. But if Shedeur stinks, then the conversation around Shedeur just kind of fades to the background for a very, very little stretch here.